Hello, my name is Ben.
And I'm Norah.
And welcome to the Too Vague Podcast. One word, two hosts, stories, trivia, and video games. Today, Norah is in studio. We've got a special introduction to the show you're going to hear afterwards, which is a show that I did with Eddie. When I went to PAX a couple of years ago, I talked to Eddie about his game StarVaders. It has finally been released, and we can talk about it.
Yeah, I remember.
Let's get into what it is. You watched the trailer for it. What were your first impressions on the trailer, Norah, for StarVaders?
The trailer that you sent me doesn't tell you an awful lot. You can look at what's going on, but it doesn't explain much. It's like a bunch of reviews. Actually, these were more like testimonials. It didn't really tell me a lot, so I looked further. I found an 18-minute one that explained it very well.
Oh, okay.
I did not look at all 18 minutes, though.
It was probably more of a playthrough kind of a thing, right?
It went through all the like, you can do this here, and now you can do this, and it's important where you stand, and, that kind of thing. Went through it step by step. It looked fairly simple once you understand what the weapons are that you're using and the like where you have to stand, but I think you learned that pretty quickly.
Yeah. Those things depend on which character you select and which class you use too.
Right.
Do you understand the idea of turn-based mechanics? I mean, the closest thing that you have come to having a deck builder kind of experience is Balatro.
Oh, yeah.
And, it is kind of like Balatro insofar as you've got a series of cards that you're playing, and there is some randomization there, what you get and when you get it. As you continue the gameplay, you're building your deck by augmenting it with different cards and stuff. And these cards can be things that are from a specific group of cards that's only for your pilot, only for your class.
Oh, okay.
Or once you get to a certain point, there are random card packs that will appear that you get cards from those as well. It's like a selection of 3 different card packs that you will get during your gameplay, and it's randomized.
Oh, okay.
There's also a rewind button. And what the rewind button does is it will allow you to repick cards. It's multi-use. So when you go to the store, you can refresh the store by using that rewind button.
Okay.
At the end of a level, when you get your reward for completing the level, you can use it to repick if you don't like what's there. But then also during the game, you use the rewind to rewind a move. So if you play your cards and you don't like the outcome, like get an enemy that's come down into your area and they're channeling doom and it's going to put you over the level and end your game, then you can press the rewind button and start it over again. Another way to use rewind is to redraw the enemy options that you have too. So you've got to manage this because you only get a certain number of rewinds per battle.
Right.
There are some artifacts that you will find that will give you extra rewinds or rewinds at a certain point.
Right.
I don't know if I'm getting ahead of myself.
I get what you're saying. I'm sure actually playing it, what you're saying would mean a lot more, but
you get a general idea.
Yeah.
The difficulty in trailers is how much do you put in and how much do you leave out? I like the idea of explaining the mechanics more than just the flashy.
Yes.
At the same time, it's commercial and it's trying to get your attention. It's trying to whet your appetite more than it's going to explain the whole game.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go to their website for the game and their company called Pengonauts. And we had a conversation about that, and I had to tell him that StarVaders is kind of like got some Space Invaders energy to it. But then also Pengo is a game from the arcades back in the 80s where you're a little penguin pushing ice cubes. And it's like, I've never heard of that. And I was like, oh boy, send him the footage. So just kind of a happy accident that they're Pengonauts, but you can listen to that during our interview, the explanation there.
Right.
It says on their website about StarVaders, mecha roguelike deck building tactical shoot 'em up.
Yeah.
Upgrade your deck with impactful cards, master the unique grid-based tactics, and discover game-changing combos in StarVaders. A fusion of Slay the Spire, Into the Breach, and Space Invaders, StarVaders is a thrilling turn-based strategy game in which you pilot a mech to fight swarms of alien invaders in a roguelite campaign of grid-based tactical card battles. Now, that sounds like a whole bunch of gobbledygook to you, right? Or do you understand it?
Well, since I watched part of the explanation, the 18-minute thing, I do understand more, not necessarily fully, but I do. It's like, I see that. But I'm sure there's a lot I'm missing, of course.
That's the thing, too. It's like with Balatro, I told you what Balatro was, and your perception of what that was probably much different than when you got to play it and you're understanding what the game loop looks like, right?
Yeah.
And in this, the game loop is essentially a series of going through these battles. You select a battle. It tells you what your reward will be, which is usually either a card or a rare card.
Okay.
Or an artifact or something. So then you pick based on that. Once you get that card, you add it to your deck. And then you've got 3 different missions that you go on. And then once you have completed those 3 missions, then you have access to the store. Min is her name. She's a little girl who has a shop that has all sorts of cards for you and stuff.
Oh, okay.
As of the recording of the show with Eddie, I hadn't completed the whole game, but I finally completed the game and I'm starting to unlock all the different things for all the different classes and characters.
Oh, okay.
The 3 different mech types that you have are Gunner, which is probably the one that you see. That's the shooter one.
Yeah.
And it has all sorts of shooting-based cards. There's Stinger, which is more of a hand-to-hand combat one, where you can slash and use a sword, and it's like that kind of thing. And then the Keeper is more of a magic-based kind of thing, where you're doing all sorts of spells. And so you're fighting not with mechs so much as you are with little bots and things that you manifest on the field. So there are 3 different types, and you unlock those as you complete the difficulty levels.
That does make it more interesting. To me, there was just the shooter, because I didn't look at 18 minutes worth of the clip. I was introduced to the others.
Right.
Also to Doom.
Doom is the thing that ends your game, essentially.
I thought it would be something like that.
And you can use it strategically, too. So it's like when you get to the end of a game, it's like, I can let this thing go down here and give me some Doom. There are also enemies that give you Doom immediately if you kill them, but they also give you lots of money.
Oh, that's
and it doesn't end your game if you kill them. If you reach the maximum amount of Doom and you only have 1 Doom left and you kill one of those enemies, they give you the money, but they don't give you the rest of the Doom. It's like, but I mean, it's only for those enemies.
Some strategy, yeah.
There is a lot of strategy involved. And there's also, like, when you get to a certain point, if you pick the difficult level, it rewards you with something that's a high level thing, but it also gives you a negative. So there's one that when you get hit, you generate junk cards. And junk cards go in your discard deck. When you reach the end of your deck and they've all been discarded, it reshuffles them and puts them back. But then you've got these junk cards in there that you have to play, but they don't do anything. They're just junk.
Right.
And then also there are other cards that go in there when you kill certain enemies or certain enemies attack you, or, the enemies have some complexity too as far as what they generate in this whole thing.
Okay.
It's got a tremendous amount of depth that on the surface it doesn't look like it has. I mean, there's the 3 different mechs. Each mech has 3 different pilots. In the case of the last one, it's 4. You start with Roxy. That's your first pilot on the Gunner. But then as you complete different missions and unlock different trophies and stuff, it will give you access to more characters. And there's a little bit of a level thing where you've got to reach, you play it through a few times, and you build up your level of that character up to a maximum of 5, and then that's when you have access to all the cards. But it has some building there as well. Let me just say, I love this game.
Sounds like
I've got like 100 plus hours into it, and I'm still unlocking all the cards.
Wow.
We talked about this before. It's like, can you pick this up and put it down? This is one of those games that is pretty easy to do that.
Right.
You can stop mid-battle, save it if you want to also. But it's just about playing through the little skirmish or whatever. It's got a really simple play loop, and the music is wonderful, and the graphics are cartoony and wonderful.
They are. I have a couple of questions that are probably not too intelligent, but while you're playing the game, there's like a window picture frame, and there's an anime. I see a female, but I think there might be a couple others in there. But they don't do anything for the playing. They're just up there. Okay, is that like the store people, Min, or?
If it's on your gameplay field, there's like a little window in the upper left-hand corner. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, yeah.
That's your character. That's your pilot for your mech, or whichever character you're playing for your class.
I figured it was something that I should understand.
Yeah, and it doesn't really do anything other than tell you which character you selected, and then also offer different story components. And the story is not really deep. It's just basically you go through, once you beat all 3 of the levels, then this mysterious overseer thing comes to see you. When you lose, the overseer says, do it again.
Oh.
But once you get to the highest level of difficulty, then what you need to do is there is a special way that you can play through it to play against the overseer. That's basically the real ending.
Okay.
In order to do that, there are 3 different bosses that you face total. There are 2 different ones per level. So that means that you've got 1 of 2. It's random that you fight against for the end of level 1, 1 of 2 for the end of level 2, and 1 of 2 for the end of level 3.
Okay.
Which is enough, I think. I mean, if they want to add to it later, they may add some more bosses, different kinds of bosses, but it does give you enough variety. But before you reach and play against the boss, there is an option to select, and this is only on the highest level, one of those things I was telling you about that will give you a negative related to an artifact. And if you select all 3 of those before you reach the end, then your final fight is actually against the overseer. And that's what I finally beat.
Oh.
Just before I spoke to Eddie about it. Very satisfying.
I can see that.
I'm still having fun just finding and unlocking all the different cards and artifacts that I haven't unlocked yet.
Okay, I have another question. Okay, I assume the whole game is played on a grid.
Yeah.
Okay. Does the grid ever change sizes?
Yes. There are levels where it expands slightly. I think it goes up 1 or 2 columns per set of levels.
Okay.
But yeah.
Because I would like that, I think. I mean, play on the first one. Well, the one in the trailer, I can't remember what it was, maybe a 5x7 or 6x7, something like that grid. And I could see getting, wanting to just have it change here and there. But okay, well, that's good to hear. Are the boss fights also on the grid?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
The bosses are more complex. Like, for the first level, the grid is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 5.
Oh, okay.
That's the first set of grids. And I think the next one goes up by 1 or 2 blocks. Towards the end, I think it's expanded to 7 or 8.
Across.
Yeah, in width. That changes as you go forward. The level 1 boss splits into 3, but you've got to, while enemies are falling from the top, right? You've got to destroy the 2 side things before you destroy the center thing. Also, one of the bosses is this floating thing that has shields, and you have to hit it twice, and then it moves to another part of the screen, and then you've got to hit it twice again. You got to do that 4 times before you destroy it.
Right.
In the second level, there is a worm boss that's really kind of tough, where the worm has little segments that goes down the screen that it will destroy. It throws apples with little worms in it at you. And if the worms and apples are in the path of the worm, you'll get doomed for those.
Oh.
So you want to either destroy those apples or move them out of the way somehow.
Yeah.
Trying to remember. I remember the last 2, which is like a chess master thing. And then also, the other one is kind of a 3-headed sort of thing where the heads descend, and it's part of a metal contraption. And what you do is you have to destroy the 3 heads as it's coming down, kill them, and move them all the way back up to the body, piece by piece. Then the center of the mechanism opens up, and you have to destroy the little thing in there that's inside controlling the big robot thing.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm following it. My brain thinks so.
And then, like I said, the chess master one, and the other one, which is this red sort of blob thing that spits out other blobs that you have to destroy all those. And it does have a lot of variety. And then the secret boss level is nuts. It's just very weird. I'm not even going to explain it. But yeah, it's definitely satisfying once you figure out a strategy to beat these things.
What you said makes it even more intriguing to me. It really does.
Yeah, maybe they should throw some money my way and I should be a spokesperson.
Yeah.
This is definitely my game of the year. It's got a really good Metacritic score. I think it's got like an 80s, 90s, somewhere in there. Most people really love it. So it's a great first showing for Eddie and his folks. And the company that published it is the company, remember, we had from Joystick Ventures. They were the publisher of this, and it was designed and made by Pengonauts. And so yeah, check it out on Steam if you've got a chance, or if you've got Steam. It's only on the PC right now, PC and Apple. It's not on any of the consoles.
So that means I can play it.
Well, if you get Steam.
Oh yeah, never mind. Steam's. Well, you said Apple, and I just never mind.
Well, yeah, but it's not on the iPads or anything.
I know.
This definitely would translate really well to iPad.
Yeah.
You don't need a joystick for it. You basically drag cards onto the field. It would absolutely 100% be perfect for Apple. And if it ever comes out on pads, man, I'll definitely get it for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so much fun. So do you have any other questions?
No questions, but I would like to say that I would really like to play the game more so even than after you said, explain more about it. But before I thought, I'd play this if I was faster. It would be better.
No, that's the thing. It makes it seem like it is a speedy game, but you can take your time. There is no time limit.
Okay.
This is what is called turn-based. It's a turn-based game. So that means you take a turn, they take a turn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so there is no rush. You can spend as much time. It's like playing chess, right?
Oh, okay.
You can spend as much time before you move that you want to, within reason, of course, or else the other guy is going to get pissed. But that's also the thing, too. The commercial made it look like it was a live action thing, and it's not. It's turn-based.
Okay. Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Definitely looks like fun. Something I'd like to play. Yeah.
Absolutely. I also talked to Eddie about, he thanks LocalThunk in the end, and stay tuned because we talks about that a little bit. The guy who made Balatro.
Really?
So he had some conversations with him about stuff. Yeah. If you don't have any more questions, stay tuned for the interview, and it is coming up now.
Good. Everybody listen.
Yeah, don't turn off the podcast.
Right.
Continue listening.
Don't keep scrolling.
Don't doom scroll. Well, thank you, and enjoy the rest of the show. Hello, my name is Ben.
Hey, I'm Eddie.
And welcome to the Too Vague Podcast. One word, two hosts, stories, trivia, and video games. I got a special guest today, Eddie. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no, of course.
Oh boy, let me just tell you, if I haven't raved about it on the show yet, StarVaders is amazing. Let me just tell you, I've been having so much fun with it. It's such a great game. Turned out better than I expected. So great.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. I saw in the credits that you thank LocalThunk. For those of you out there that don't know, he did Balatro, right? Are you friends with LocalThunk?
I've become friends with him, but it's through game dev circles, not in real life.
Yeah.
I was probably one of the first 20-ish people that played the playtest.
Oh, wow.
And I knew that I was gold, so I was chatting with him for a while. just from like the game dev side of things.
Right. I mean, it makes sense because, I mean, Balatro at its core is a deck builder, right? In a
Yeah.
traditional and a non-traditional sense. The only component that seems to be a little bit different is the more action-oriented, turn-based, like movement sort of thing. So yeah, probably got some good insights from LocalThunk. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And it's not just LocalThunk too. I've made it like a habit to chat with as many other devs, especially like in the same genre as us,
Oh, okay.
just to kind of get more insight, see what they're doing, how they're doing, and sharing advice, which I think is super important for devs to do with each other.
I mean, I would say even outside the genre too, you might want to expand outside the genre as well.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I can give you one of my dev contacts, this gentleman by the name of Christian, who I've had on the show, but he's making this game called Rogue Climber.
Mm.
He calls it a rage game, kind of like getting over it with, what is his name, Bennett something? Fossey?
Yeah. Yeah. Body, yeah.
And so, yeah, but it's like a vertical traversing, trying to go as high as you can to complete the level. It's a very unique looking style artistically, and he's made his own engine, and I think he also designed a lot of the, just from the ground up, all the mechanics. So I think he did it all himself kind of thing. But anyway, enough dev talk. That's about all I know with devs, unless you want to talk about medical software. Then I can talk about the conversations I have with developers, but I don't think that's what we want to talk about today. What is going on in your life? Anything exciting? Anything new with StarVaders or otherwise? I mean, anything exciting?
Most of the team's taking like a bit of a break. Pretty hectic release, and we did a lot of like bug fixing and stuff for the first month. So so now we're kind of taking it slower again, relaxing a bit, but we're still preparing a few content updates.
Yeah, the first one came out, I think, right? The beach.
Yeah, the beach episode. But now we're preparing for the next two.
Can I ask you a question that's game related on that, the beach episode?
Yeah, sure.
How do I unlock the beach cards? Do I have to use the customization thing? Do I have to customize in order to unlock?
At the moment, it's basically the last thing you would unlock.
Oh, okay.
The way we make the packs unlock is that after you get a certain amount of trophies, which is basically just achievements, you'll unlock packs. The beach pack needs like 55 achievements or something.
Oh boy, let me look.
Yeah.
Let me consult it. I've got 48. Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you have just 2 more packs for you to unlock. There's one at 50, one at 55.
Okay.
But I mean, usually the achievements, it's like as you play, you should be slowly unlocking most of them. There's nothing really that you need to plan. Well, I mean, there's a few, except it's just a few, right? And there's more achievements than necessary to unlock everything.
Yeah, and right now I'm doing cleanup with all the trophies and stuff in StarVaders. That's kind of what I've been playing lately. StarVaders. Got 100 hours into it, and man, love it. It's right now. I don't know if this is if I should say it. It's my game of the year right now, personally, for whatever that's worth to you. But really loving it, man. So such a great game, just well balanced, a lot of fun. So congratulations to you and your team. I hope it's doing well sales wise and stuff, and promoting it and things like that. Are you getting a lot of reviews and such?
Yeah, the reviews have been pretty good, and we're getting a lot of them as well.
Yeah.
Sales have been like decent. I wouldn't say amazing, but it's more than enough to help pay for itself.
Well, yeah, it's a starting point too, and you gotta let word of mouth do its work also in these cases. Because I mean, immediately after Balatro came out, I think there was like a lull, and then all of a sudden everyone figured out that it was an amazing game. There are instances where that happens, right?
Yeah.
Where just a few people get involved and word of mouth gets passed. So I'm doing all I can to pass on that because, like I said, great game, man. That's what I've been up to, other than thinking about what I'm going to talk about with you on this episode. And we'll talk about the word deck. Do you want to go right into the definition, or do you have any first thoughts on this word?
Yeah, sure. Let's go with the definition.
Okay, let's do that. The word deck. It's going to be a trip, folks. According to Oxford Languages, deck Noun, a structure of planks or plates horizontal extending across a ship or a boat at any of the various levels, especially one of those that is the highest level and open to the weather. A floor or a platform resembling or compared to a ship's deck, especially the floor of a pier or a platform for sunbathing. How much sunbathing are you guys doing up there? Where are you again? Vancouver?
Montreal.
Montreal. Other coast, right?
No, I mean, the weather is really nice right now, so it would be the season.
No sunbathing going on in Arizona unless you're wearing your SPF 3008. A platform typically made of lumber, unroofed, and attached to a house or another building. So like your patio, like a deck, a level of a large open building, especially a sports stadium like the upper deck. Are you a baseball guy?
Not really, no.
No, neither am I, but there are sports associations too with this. Also informal, the ground or floor, the deck. Hit the deck. Oh, and there's also the flat part of a skateboard or a snowboard. Another question, do you do any snowboarding?
No, I'm more of a ski person.
I'm a two-planker as well. Welcome to the club. Yes.
Yeah.
Where do you ski?
There's a few mountains around Montreal, but they're usually like smaller mountains.
Do you ever get over to Calgary or any of the Rockies there? Because that's the only place I've skied is the Canadian Rockies area.
Yeah, I've never actually traveled and skied,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Most of my skiing has been done like local mountains.
I gotcha. When I was younger, we used to ski in Illinois, but you're skiing on ice generally because what it does is it melts and then it freezes immediately. So even all the snow machines in the world can't make that soft. So generally, you're just skiing on a sheet of ice. And until I made it out to actual mountains, I didn't know what real skiing was. Second definition, a component or unit in sound reproduction equipment that incorporates a playing or recording mechanism for discs or tapes. Wow. Discs or tapes. Do you remember those days?
I don't think I was alive back then.
You don't remember the cassette decks or the CD decks? There's also a set of 2 or more record decks connected to sound mixing equipment used by a DJ. That's even more old school. Yeah, records and discs and tapes. So your entire life you've only known MP3 players? Is that what is like the oldest audio technology? Like if you wanted to listen to some music.
MP3 would be the oldest I can remember.
Boy, oh boy. That makes me feel old, but that's okay because, you know, with age comes wisdom, right? Or something to that effect.
Yeah.
I'd like to think, or I keep on telling myself. Anyway, we've got also number 3, North American, a pack of cards, informal North American, a packet or of, oh boy, a packet of narcotics. I had no idea. Maybe I should review these before I say them, but it's a word, its use is important. And then we've got the verb, which is decorate or adorn brightly or festively, like decking the halls. And then also informal, knock someone to the ground with a punch to deck them. Those are 2 old-timey uses of deck that probably in your time on this planet not used very frequently, but are familiar with.
You'd read these in books, right? But I've never heard someone say it out loud.
I'm going to deck that guy. He's cruising for a bruising, that guy over there. And then, okay, so the origin is late Middle English from Middle Dutch, covering, roof, cloak, decken, to cover, originally denoting canvas used to make covering, especially on a ship. The term came to mean covering itself, later denoting a solid surface serving as a roof or a floor. And the use of deck over time, according to the Google Ngram viewer, has remained pretty consistent. Nothing major as far as peaks or valleys there that is interesting to talk about. So that is the word deck. So what is the first thing that you think of, Eddie, when you think of the word deck?
I mean, listening to all the definitions, it surprises me how varied the definitions for deck are.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wonder how this one word gets to evolve into all these different meanings. Because it's like a deck of cards has almost nothing to do with a ship deck, at least that I can think of. So I wonder how, like, who came up with the word for a deck of cards.
That's curious too, like the origins of a specific definition. But those things are really interesting, just how they evolve through language on their own. I don't know if there's anything. Do you have any knowledge of how that developed into deck of cards?
No, not particularly. Maybe it's related to that kind of like the record tape decks.
Maybe. All the origin says is it comes from covering things, right? So pack of cards. Some people call it a deck of cards and some people call it a pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting question. I think more research is needed. Something similar, like where did this come from, was sandwiches. You've got a double-decker sandwich, right?
Oh yeah, double decker.
Yeah. Like what's that all about? I don't know. If you had a sandwich named after you, like at a deli, what would it be? What would it be called?
A sandwich named after me.
Yeah, because you're famous. Because you're a famous game designer. Because that's what they do at delis. Clearly, they take game developers that are pretty amazing and they make sandwiches.
Yeah, let me think about it. I mean, assumingly, it'd have to do with what's unique about me as a designer, which would either be about StarVaders itself or the type of game StarVaders is.
But it also could be your background, too, I would say.
That's true. Yeah, it could be my background as well.
It can be just a name, too. You don't have to necessarily figure out what's on the sandwich yet. You can say it's called the Eddie Deluxe or the Axolotl or...
So this is it's funny how the topic came here because, so I would call the sandwich, it's a sandwich, right?
Yeah.
I would call the sandwich the burger. And here's why.
Okay.
So as I was talking, like I was talking about how I made friends with a bunch of other game designers and game developers for deck builders.
Mm-hmm.
One of the big common discussion points we always have with each other, like including LocalThunk, LocalThunk is part of this conversation,
Mm-hmm.
is about how to define games and genres. This debate, argument, like conversation always devolves. Like my example is like you know like the term roguelike, right?
Right.
Which traditionally describe games that are like Rogue, ASCII art, top-down dungeon crawler type games. But these days, roguelike means almost every game because that's what people call them. They could mean games that you restart and from scratch, but also some players think it means that it's games that you restart but not from scratch. You get things that carry over as well.
Yeah.
And it just gets so messy defining things. So our discussions eventually led to a point of being like, what is a game in the first place? Does it need an objective? Is that what makes it a game? Like the fact that you're defining objective and you have to win or not? I feel like there are some games that don't need an objective, like Minecraft, for example, is more sandboxy.
Right.
You don't need to win, you can just play it. Is that a toy or a game? So eventually one of the discussion points led to, is eating a hamburger a game? So the player's goal would be to eat the hamburger.
Right.
And you could make it a game. If you just told yourself before you're eating a burger, I'm going to eat this burger without making a mess, you just created the game from scratch. So really we think it's like a game is more about a player interpreting something as a game for themselves. And that leads to some cool ideas, like some players play a game but not the way it's intended to, like speedrunning, for example. They play the game but like they use the glitches and they play for a different objective than the game's objective. It's not just winning, it's winning a certain amount of time, for example. So my theorem, or like my philosophy, is that as a game designer, game developer, we're just creating guidelines to help the player figure out a game for themselves. We're not making a game, we're making like a sandbox for the player to create a game out of themselves.
An environment to explore, essentially.
Yeah. And usually it's like if it's sort of like victories or not, it's like it's easy for the player to be like, oh yeah, I'll just make victory my victory because that's what the game tells me. But it's like there's nothing stopping a player to be like, I want to try to lose at this game as fast as possible. And that's also a valid game if you think about it. Anyway, so that's a long.
That's an interesting thought, what actually makes a game. And also, are games by their nature supposed to be enjoyable?
Yeah.
When you create that for yourself, I want to do this as fast as possible. Are you doing it for fun, or are you doing it to figure out how to break the game, or are you doing it as kind of a challenge to yourself that doesn't really, I mean, whether it's fun or not, it's kind of, you set the rules, but the fun aspect is not a part of that necessarily.
No, exactly.
No.
It's like it's so variable and very dependent on the player.
Yeah.
So we kind of nicknamed all this type of discussion as burger discussions. Like whenever we talk about definitions and it starts devolving, we're like, oh,
It's a burger.
here comes another burger discussion.
Yep.
So yeah, that's why I'd call the sandwich a burger, just to harken back on.
That's really cool. That's got an excellent backstory. Wait a second, is where you are, is that where they invented the cronut?
The cronut. I don't know. We have poutine here. That's what we invented.
That's right. Poutine. Who doesn't like poutine? It's white gravy, right? That you put on poutine, or is it brown gravy?
There's different colored gravies.
Obviously, you've never been to the South, because there's white gravy there. And then during Thanksgiving, you got your brown gravies.
Yeah.
Let's not devolve into a burger. I love this burger thing. This is great. I'm going to probably use this a lot. It's like the burger. It's a burger discussion. Just don't even worry about it. That's so interesting that devs have that kind of discussion amongst themselves. But I mean, I'm sure that you also have it with players too, right? Or are players just not interested in that philosophical side of game development?
Yeah, occasionally, yeah.
It never even dawned on me that you would, as a game developer, think about that stuff, but it makes total sense. It's like, you know, what is it? What is this thing? I thought you were going the direction of, is a hot dog a sandwich? But I'm glad you wasn't.
It's kind of like it's like a similar line of thinking. It's like, what is a game? What is a sandwich?
Is a taco a sandwich?
Yeah, taco's a taco.
So then what is a hot dog? Is a hot dog a taco? Sort of?
So from my interpretation, it's up to the eater to decide, not the creator to decide.
Gotcha. That's your game designer philosophy. So it's like,
Yeah,
it is whatever you want it to be.
exactly.
If you want to make it a sandwich, it's a sandwich. If you want to make it a taco, it's a taco. Interesting. Well, where did Dex fit in here?
I think it's a double-decker burger.
That's what it is. Yeah, the double-decker. You got to make it double-decker. So with decks of cards, I mean, the card game itself, coming from somewhere where you were, what was the big game that kind of got you into gaming?
One of the first video games I played was Portal.
Okay.
Betray my age again. So I was really into that. Like I tried making like custom levels and stuff for Portal and Portal 2. Video games, yeah, that was pretty important for me. As well as Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Oh, okay. That's another interesting sort of, it's a matter of perspective. Some people are roller coaster fans and they want to design the craziest coaster, but other people just want to see how Roller Coaster Tycoon is broken and they try and make the wildest stuff with it. Have you seen any of those YouTube videos of people just making crazy things with Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Yeah, it's so impressive.
So with a game, where's the story in the sandwich? If you make the game about the rules that you set for yourself and that's the game, then story doesn't have a part of that, right?
I kind of harken it back to it's like the philosophy of like the author is dead. It's like if Picasso has a painting, the painting tells a story. Like, you know what I mean? There's like a scene happening in the painting.
Right.
Is it more important what Picasso wanted to tell us, or more important what the viewer believes is the story?
The interpretation of.
Interpretation, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think the interpretation is more important. So in a sense, the story is more about the viewer's interpretation of what we put out there rather than something we just kind of guide the player maybe, but let the player get the answers for themselves.
Gotcha. The Picasso example is a good example, but it's a picture,
Yeah.
piece of a story. It's not necessarily a story. It's a snapshot in time, however you want to define that. But you know what I mean, right? It's a still.
Yeah.
And it's not something like a movie or book or anything like that. It's a static thing. Whereas video games, they're not static. They're not snapshots.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that they need story. That just means that it's a philosophy of design thing, right? It's not always 100% necessary for everyone to have story in their games. But
Yeah.
it's something that I, in my older age, seem to appreciate in video games more these days. I mean, you know, your arcade games, right? You can make up the story for Pac-Man. but that wasn't about necessarily the story of Pac-Man. The Galaxian wasn't the story of ships. Space Invaders wasn't the story of the invasion or anything. So it's an interesting Venn diagram that you can create in your mind, like how much of this you want to tell a story. But these days, a lot of people can tell a story in unique ways, I think, that doesn't rely upon, well, I don't know. What are your thoughts on story in games other than the fact that you think it's up to the viewer? I mean, it's not something like you play a game just for the game mechanics. Is the story a piece of your enjoyment, or is it mostly about the game mechanics? Because I've had that discussion. That's kind of my equivalent of the burger discussion. When you enjoy a game, is it about the mechanics, or is it about the story, or is it about something else?
It's kind of a boring answer, but it depends. Sometimes I'm looking for a story and like an experience-driven game where I just want to get it fed to me. Sometimes I'm looking for like a distraction or like just something to do with my hands. That's when something without a story also works really well.
It's situational. It's like watching something on television. Sometimes you want to watch sci-fi. Sometimes you want to watch something that's a little bit more drama related, or maybe a movie or something. So it really does depend. Okay. I just find my tendency being moving more towards story and away from really engaging unique game mechanics. Anytime there's a strange premise, it piques my interest. But it's, yeah, you're right. It's just whatever you're in the mood for, essentially.
I think for me, usually if I'm longing to get a good story, I'll probably default to movies first.
Okay.
Or TV. It's not in my first instinct to look for a game with a story if I'm looking for a story.
Yeah. And I think that as gaming becomes more accessible, if it maintains, maybe that's something that's going to be coming, is you'll have that. Some people, maybe they do look for games that have particular stories or particular narratives. Very interesting. Do you have any favorite TV or movies?
I have a lot of favorite movies.
Okay.
Most of them are horror. Are you a horror person?
I am not a horror person. No. Give me a good romantic comedy.
I am a horror person.
Okay.
Romantic comedy. Not really my genre. Yeah.
Let's tie this to deck of cards. With card decks, did you play any of those, like Magic the Gathering type of games when you were younger, also in addition to video games, or were you just mostly puzzle games and things like that?
I played board games, tabletop games quite a bit. Probably more than video games.
Okay.
I didn't play Magic the Gathering. I did play this game called Arkham Horror, the card game.
Okay.
That's it's a cooperative version of Magic, I guess.
Okay. Where you're playing against the game.
Yeah, exactly. It has like the same like concepts of like you have a deck and you draw cards and play cards from it.
This idea just popped in my head. Is Monopoly, you were talking about the burger discussion. I love this burger discussion thing. Monopoly, it's a deck builder, right?
Oh, let me think about it.
You're accumulating properties. You're using them. You're building hotels on them. It's a part of a strategy. If you wanted to really use the descriptor in that way, you could call Monopoly a deck builder.
So I think in board game. So here's a funny thing actually. Board games vocabulary is a lot better than the video game vocabulary. For some reason, it just hasn't caught on in video games, but board games has a lot of really well-defined terms for different mechanics and stuff. So it's not quite a problem defining things at all. The prime example here is is the term engine builder. In board games, engine builder is the term that describes a game in which you get to improve your build
Mhm.
over time, and as you improve it, you get more resources that you can use to improve your build even better.
Right.
And it's kind of like creating synergies, getting better and better. But that's kind of what everyone calls a deck builder in video games, is it what should be an engine builder in board games. And the cool thing in board games is that they've split out this umbrella category into multiple different subcategories. So a deck builder is an engine builder that uses cards. A tableau builder is an engine builder that has a tableau. And a tableau is basically like collecting things in front of you. In video games, something like Ring of Pain or Backpack Hero, those I would consider to be tableau builders rather than deck builder. There's also bag builders in which you like collect stuff in a bag, usually dice
Okay. Yeah.
or tokens. Basically, what I mean is that for some reason, all these really well-defined terms that existed for a really long time just never transferred to video games.
Hmm.
Everything in a video game is a deck builder or a roguelike.
Do you think it's maybe perhaps the popularity of board games has ebbed and flowed over time, but it's never been in the area of video games where it just became a phenomenon? People played board games casually throughout their entire life, so it's just been one of those things that's just always been there. And I think for those things, the descriptors, you're looking for something specific when you want to play one of those games. Therefore, if you're promoting that game, you want to be as descriptive as possible about how that game works, as opposed to video games where if you're a company and your focus is on sales, you want to associate it with something that has recognition. So that's why you use things like deck builder or Metroidvania or any of those terms, roguelite, roguelike. I don't know.
I agree. It's like, I think it makes more sense to be extremely specific in what it is, because the people who buy board games, they're doing the research. They want to know exactly what the board game is like before they buy it.
Right.
While video games maybe has a more casual audience where that are more likely to buy the game and then figure out if they like it afterwards. Because I mean, board games are a commitment and they're really expensive as well. So
Oh, yeah.
I think board game players tend to like. Well, like, to play a board game, you have to be able to read rules, and like wording and terminology is very important in board games in general. So maybe it's just more accustomed to use vocabulary in that way to define the games as well.
Well, I was thinking also, yeah, you mentioned instructions, right?
Yeah.
You've got in games, there's a method by which you can basically lead along the way. It's more of a teaching kind of thing. It's the tutorial, right? As opposed to, you don't have that in board games. You don't have a tutorial. You read the rules and you've got a room full of people playing the game and you all have your interpretation of the rules. They're written down. You consult the text as opposed to something that leads you along the path. So you would want it to be as specific as possible in a board game scenario because of that. It's like not like you can go, okay, now we've got this move that you can use in this way or whatever.
Yeah.
And a lot of games don't even do that. They just give you a mechanic. There's this game I'm playing right now called Blades of Fire that I got a review key for. It has this metalworking, this blacksmithing mechanic where you make your swords. And it doesn't really explain to you in the game how to do it. You just have to kind of figure out the way it works or go online and watch someone else who had figured out how it works tell you how it works. But I mean, it's not a fun game mechanic too. Game mechanics are important, even simple ones. They have to be fun. And I don't know if someone thinks that pounding steel at a certain level and trying to carve a sword in a way that doesn't seem like it's actually you're doing what you would normally do when you're blacksmithing. I don't think that's fun, but maybe some people do think certain mechanics are fun that I don't. You think that at the core of a game you need unique game mechanics, or do you think that you can make the game unique by using combinations of mechanics that have synergies?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what makes a game work or not.
Do you think of games as art, or do you think of games as a product more? There's a percentage there, right?
Yeah, well, like for me, I would enjoy seeing games as art,
Mm-hmm.
but in reality, it's most likely a product. If games were art, we'd see a lot more variety and a lot more experimental or like high budget experimental games, stuff like that that works out. But
Yeah, high budget
yeah,
experimental games are a thing of the past, especially since Nintendo now wants to charge $90 for a game or whatever. And it's other games too, right? That add on the passes and things. I mean, you're spending huge amounts of money on something. It's about making the money. It's not about trying out the cool new idea, unfortunately. But
yeah.
so were you into card games as a kid at all?
I wouldn't say as a kid, but like I did play a lot of card games later in life.
Are we talking about, like Exploding Kittens or whatever that game is? Or like traditional like Uno, more or just playing cards, like 52 cards kind of games, or an assortment, or
An assortment, but a lot of playing cards, that's for sure, yeah.
no sabacc? Are you a Star Wars guy?
No.
No, never mind then. Scratch that from the record.
I've recently watched Andor. That's pretty much the only Star Wars media I've watched, though.
Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, I really enjoyed Andor.
Since you've been showing your age, I might as well show my age. Star Wars was my first movie. I saw maybe a Disney movie or two in there, but it was my most memorable movie when I was 6, seeing it in the theater. Boy, did it have an impact on me. Now, the universe itself, I can kind of like, it's okay. I like revisiting it and seeing how people handle it and the good storytelling and things around it. But nothing compares to that first experience where seeing this thing that no one's ever seen before that's just so amazing in the theater. We used to go to this Armenian restaurant in Chicago called Sayat Nova. We would get the flatbread there, going back to sandwiches, I guess. We went one time after seeing Star Wars, and I was like, can we get the bread that tastes like Star Wars? So from that point forward, the flatbread was the Star Wars bread. That's how much of an impact Star Wars had on me. Before it was called A New Hope, it was just Star Wars.
Yeah.
So what kind of card games did you play? And when did you play them? Because I know I played like Hearts in college. That was one of the games that we would sit around and have pizza and play Hearts for some reason.
Yeah, a lot of, yeah, those kind of like same type of environment, I guess, high school or college, just bringing out a pack of cards during our break and playing with the friends. But it's like, I remember playing a lot of different variety of card games though. Like we'd always bring up something new every once in a while. Sometimes we would even come up with our own games, or like we'd add rules to existing games to kind of change things up.
Okay. Like people add 7s and 3s are wild. It's like, why?
Like that, but a bit more thought put into
Okay.
it. It's probably where my first game design experience comes from.
Oh, really? Changing the rules of card games?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make perfect sense. Thinking about those things and how they interact and how they would change the game, the parameters of the game. And I don't know if you you said Slay the Spire was kind of an inspiration for you for StarVaders. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
What about that game was inspiring to you?
I guess it's like the intuitiveness of it.
Okay. Because I would say that StarVaders is very intuitive also.
Yeah. There's like a cohesion that is rare to see in other games that I think is underrated how important it is. It's like being able to kind of like see an image of the game and kind of get what's going on.
Right. It's got a visual vocabulary that is very easy to pick up.
Yeah.
Did you name your card games like you name your sandwiches? Did you have a card game called The Burger?
I mean, one of them was called Chopsticks, so close enough.
Okay.
For no reason at all.
We're going to call this game Chopsticks just to confuse people.
Yeah.
We'll call this one This Is Not a Card Game. Any other card deck things that you think of? I mean, we can go down the list of ship decks, but that just seems boring to me.
I haven't really been on that many ships.
Do you have any urge to go on like a cruise or anything at all?
I've been on a cruise before, but I didn't really enjoy it.
Was it one of those big?
Yeah, it's one of those huge ones. But it's like I just it feels like it's a resort, but it's on a boat.
It's a resort with seasickness.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, that's two great things right there. I've never been on a cruise myself, but I've heard other people, it's like Las Vegas on a boat or whatever, and there's just so much to do now. And I was like, I don't know if a floating mall is really what I want in a trip. I want to see new stuff. I want to explore. And in a ship, it's finite. They tell you what's on the ship. It's not like there's an exploration thing that you have to do or urged to do. It's not like you explore the decks and find the cool place that you can hang out or whatever, the cool coffee shop or anything like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, there's also on deck. Like I go get my hair cut at this place that's called Sport Clips. They do this little thing where they give you a massage afterwards, this like shoulder and wash your hair and stuff.
Yeah.
It feels good. Let me just say that. It's just, it's just a nice feeling. But they always say when you get there, you're on deck. And they call the triple play or the double, they got all sorts of baseball terminology at this place. So any final thoughts on the word deck that you have?
We'll see. Yeah. It's a really weird word. It's what I'm thinking. I just don't know why we use it for so many different things.
Yeah. Maybe we can revisit that at some point in the future, because that is, I would have to research. It's like there are reasons why would we use it for cards? Why would we use it? I mean, I guess you could kind of, for baseball, it would be being on deck as being the next one in line. But yeah, I just think maybe it has like other words that have evolved to mean things that they didn't originally mean.
Yeah.
Okay, so the word literally.
Yeah.
Which now in some dictionaries have the word literally meaning figuratively, because that's how people use the word.
Yeah.
So when they say literally, they actually mean figuratively, but they're saying literally. Confusing. But I mean, that's the way, if language evolves that way, I mean, 100 years down the road, is someone going to say, oh yeah, that's where it came from. It came from some person who started saying literally on a television show a lot. And then people really started saying it. It wasn't Parks and Rec where they really started using literally a lot. Did you ever see Parks and Recreation?
I haven't, no.
No. Okay. It's comedy, so you wouldn't like it. You're a horror person.
Yeah.
My final thoughts on the word deck, I think of not mostly sandwiches, but maybe that's just because I'm hungry. But I think of sports things, cards, and ships. And I guess that's the primary thing that was in those definitions. I mean, I don't think I've ever referred to hitting someone as decking someone, though. Nor have I ever done the packet of narcotics. It's an interesting word, meaning like, where do those things come from? That's a great insight there. So where can people pick up StarVaders? Do you have a Pengonauts website? That's the company name, right?
Yeah, that's the company name.
And you came up with it after, or somewhat recently, right? Between the last time we spoke and now, or has it always been Pengonauts and I didn't realize it?
No, it's pretty recently, a few months ago, I'd say.
Any reason specifically why it's Pengonauts? Was the inspiration?
Well, I mean, coming up with a studio name is so hard. There's already so many that exist already that it's hard to just come up with something that doesn't exist. Mostly, we kind of wanted to get that feeling of like explorative. We want to do things that no one else is doing. So,
which is the knot.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is true or not, but Pengo was a kind of a popular Sega arcade game back in the day. So that's where my mind went, since you have this game that has Space Invader energy, that maybe it was a retro arcade sort of reference. But is it just penguins? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I haven't heard of it, but
Pengo?
Yeah, I haven't heard of Pengo before.
Oh, look it up when we get off the line. But yeah, it was one of those early 80s arcade games where you were a little penguin pushing around ice blocks and you had to squish your enemies against other ice blocks. And it had a little thing where if you lined up 3 of the ice blocks in a row, then you had a super thing where you could take out the enemies Pac-Man style, like running into them. It's a memorable arcade game for me, so I thought since you had Space Invader energy, it was that. But okay, Explorative Penguins. That's the
Penguins.
Excellent. Yeah. Check them out on Steam. Do you have any plans to go to other consoles or anything at this point, or are you just focusing on the Steam stuff?
Just plans, nothing confirmed.
Gotcha. I am so happy that you put it out on Mac. Let me just say that right away, because when I saw it at first, it was like Windows, and I was like, oh, crud. Well, thank you, Eddie. Really appreciate it. I wish you continued success, man, because it's such a great game. I really enjoy it. I will do what I can to pass on the positive vibes and whatnot. And if I do have a chance to actually write out a review, the thing about writing reviews on Steam is I want to write an actual review. I don't want to write something that's just like, great game, love the, you know?
Yeah.
If and when I do that, I will let you know. I do have a Substack now where I've experimented with reviews that are not standard kind of reviews, where I kind of go into storytelling related to things that happened to me in the past, connect things that way in sort of an artistic way, which some people appreciate and other people are like, just tell me if you like the game or not. That would probably be the just tell me if you like the game or not on Steam. That would be the audience there.
Yeah.
So let's just close the show by saying thank you, audience, for joining us on this week's episode. My name is Ben.
My name is Eddie.
And we've been your hosts. Have a wonderful night. Bye.
Bye.